Hi, this is Mia. I just made a 45-minute video that was supposed to be around 16, and so I am currently going to see if I can recap it in like 5 minutes. Basically, it is Friday. I didn't even check my schedule to see if I need to do something. I'm planning on going to work tomorrow, and I don't want to go because I'm tired. I went to a birth yesterday at 2 a.m. Was informed about possible labor starting at like 10:50 p.m. So I was just like, I can't sleep. Someone's gonna call me. Oh my gosh, I have to sleep because they're gonna call me. Oh, I can't sleep. Someone's gonna call me. It was like that. And then a couple of days before, I was like, where's my phone? Oh my gosh, waking up, and then like also finding my phone sitting there with the charger next to it, not plugged in. I'm like, where did my ringer didn't go off because my phone's battery died, and I all freaked out about that. I currently am, did I just say this? I did pass my boards, my clinical boards. However, I did not do the jurisprudence or the formulary for my state or any other state. So currently I am not licensed, but I got back. I don't know why people say this, but I got past a bear of a test. And this is not the case for most people, but however, I did pass both set of boards in the same year. In 6 months of each other, I passed the basic science and the other test. They offer, or I should say it the right way, the NPLEX 1 and NPLEX 2 for naturopathic medicine boards, licensing boards, which you need to pass, plus any extra. There's tests that you don't necessarily need in all states, but we did need minor surgery in our state, so I did pass that as well. And wow, my friend was like trying to find out the books and the stuff, and I was just like, I was a person that was like, some people sent emails and deals and classes. I signed up for all that stuff. I saved the emails. I contacted the people. I was like, so just got a book for $20% off. I went and bought the book. I didn't have money at first. I wish I had bought the book at first. And I have some other materials someone else might buy for me. I need a few $100s to pay for my classes, and I spent probably $1,000 on materials for the test, the last test, $1,000 on the first test, and then NPLEX 2 is $850. I think that includes all the fees, and then for the licensing exam, I think it's $150. Plus, to do the licensing exam, you need the FBI fingerprints and stuff, so that's probably another, plus passport photos and all, that's probably another $50. And then after that, you had to pay a bunch of money, like $300, $450 for the actual license. So I had some stuff that I was supposed to do, and some counselors and business teachers told me to do a bunch of stuff. I didn't do it, and I listened to a relative, and I messed myself up because I didn't do what the professionals told me to do. And this person was like, "Oh, be wise. You got to do this way, this way, this way," and I'm kicking myself in the butt. Now, there's one thing that gets me, and it's I wake up every day asking God, please guide me what to do. Please open the doors that need to be open. Please close the doors that need to be closed. Please help me while I'm walking. You know, like the footprints prayer, like, please help me while I'm walking. And it's like, where were you when there was only one set of footprints? Oh, I was actually carrying you along. So I have to say, no matter what anyone said, ultimately it was down to my choice, and it was ultimately down to if somebody told me a certain advice, good or bad, I had to follow something. It's like, that's the hard thing about being human, I think, is you make decisions that may or may not be right. Or you make decisions that don't seem right, that actually are just right. What if I had done that big application? What if I had done the jurisprudence and the formulary? Would I have even passed the other exam? Would I have been under such stress that I would have, I was just like, and my mind was like, don't worry, you don't have to take 2 extra tests this week. You're only going to take like 4 tests this week. But like 3 days and 1 test and plus the surgery test. I was like, don't worry. And you're going to go to work after this. Don't worry. And somebody at the school said slow and steady, that's going to help you be more successful. And I was like, I felt like the tortoise in the hare. I was like, everyone out, like, they want you to graduate, pass your boards, and hit the ground running. They want you to take 3 months break and go travel around the world. They want you to just rest and relax and save up all your own money and just sit in the Volkswagen van and just chillax and eat Burgerville burgers, gluten-free, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't do any of that. Nothing. Did I want to? Yes. Did I have money to? No. Did I have time to? No. Did I have 2 kids I'm taking care of? Yes. Did I want to take at least a weekend off? Yes. Did I? No. I've had a couple weekends, I think, this summer. I can't quote you on that because I'm doing midwifery 7 days a week. The baby's born on Sunday, then it's Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, whatever. Tuesday, Monday. Let's get them all in. So, I'm grateful that I have the energy to do what I'm doing. I feel that my body is just, like, I see these students at school, the new ones, they're all laughing, they're all in herds, and I see the old ones, and they're doing weekend retreats, and they're doing all the stuff that we're taught to do, and you see people doing, like, oh, I went to the beach once a month, and had to have a retreat, and I go get my nails done, and get my hair done, and then I go skiing in Colorado, and then I go to San Diego to go to the zoo, and then I go to Mexico, yeah. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I never did any of that. It's like, I haven't even gone to a museum, for Pete's sake. I've been once in, like, 13 years. And I'm like, really? So, you know what? There's a lot of obstacles I overcame, and there's a lot of dangers that were in my life, and I did what I could to stay away from that. There's a lot of things, like, there's all this talk about vacation, and scuba diving, and sailing across the world, and all this stuff. If you're single, and you have money, and you have rich family members helping you pay for this, that's the thing to do. But what if everyone was like me, was like, not necessarily single, was like, oh, I'm taking care of my kids, and not just little kids, where people come over and help you because you have a little kid and they're cute. It's like, what if everyone was just like, I'll pick my kids up from school, and I take them to soccer, and then I take them to music, and then I make dinner, and then I have to study until 2 a.m. and write a paper, and then wake my kids up in the morning, make their lunch, make their breakfast, and then maybe I have time to make my lunch, and I'm not going to have money to buy lunch because the kids need new soccer shoes, and then the other kids all need t-shirts and underwear, and someone needs to get their hair done, and you know what I mean? It's like, people are like, oh, I gotta buy some outfits for work, and pay for gas, and pay my apartment, and it's like, if you're a single parent, you have 0 to no income. I mean, I always had income, but, like, sometimes I work, like, an hour a week, for Pete's sake. Like, 45 minutes a week. I've done that before. And it's, like, usually it's, like, at least an hour and a half a week, which actually, it's not really good. It's, like, $30 paycheck. But it was when I was at Work City. But it's, like, hey, $30, you can get mostly a full tank of gas, which I need right now. So, I would love a check for $30 right now. I'd love one for $300. I'd love one $300,000. I'd love one for $3 million. I would love one for $3,000. But, and it's just that beggars can't be choosers coming through my mind. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. God is the God of miracles. So, I'm getting ready to go to work tomorrow. There's been a conflict at work where the lady is trying to steal my Saturday position. And my boss has many times that I can work Saturdays and take Mondays off. Or if I decide to work Mondays, to work Saturdays to catch up on hours. And then work all that around birth. And if somebody wanted to share a day with me and be on call, then they should contact me, and I could call them and say, can you come in that day? But no one's done that, and they're just literally whiting out my hours on the work schedule. And I was like, that is not okay, because I already discussed this with the boss, and I left it tomorrow, so I don't know, somebody's got to write it out, my stuff, and I did miss Saturdays because of 2 births, and so it's like, what the heck, you know? So, for all of you who watch my videos, sometimes I bring up this accountability thing. So my accountability right now is, it's going to be fall. Go ahead and take care of myself, take care of the kids, ask God to be part of everything in my life. That way I know if I ask for direction, I'm being directed the way that he wants me to be directed. Secondly, I want to say, I may only have a week to sign up for the jurisprudence test. The deadline, I believe it's in a week. There's no way that I can sign up for it because of, unless I go and get the pictures, the fingerprints, and all that stuff. There's no way I can do it. I'm actually going to call some people about the jurisprudence on Monday. I'm just gonna straight up call. And I'm in a situation right now where I might ask somebody straight up. I don't want to get myself in trouble, but you can't ask someone who's not a lawyer. You can't ask somebody who's not necessarily, I don't know, an expert. This person's telling me, oh, if you have some paperwork for something and you get it sealed, and the state asks for the paperwork and it's sealed, and you don't give them anything. In my mind, when I see that, it is, no, you get a file box or a paper bag and you put everything in the paper bag and you send them a copy of everything. Because if the FBI is going to run a background check, this is just a hypothetical, you're not going to be you're not going to hide. If you say you had a traffic ticket and you got it thrown out, and someone asked you if you had a traffic ticket and it got thrown out, I don't think you should say, no, I didn't get one. I think you should say, yes, I got it and it got thrown out. Because when they go to the traffic court and look for your file, you're going to have a bunch of files in there saying from A, B, C, D, what happened, including it being thrown out. If you say no and they find a big stack of saying that you had a trial and you went to this, and even if it was incorrect, or someone, say someone was driving your car and they went past the speeding camera, I just feel like it should be, or someone stole your car, or somebody sold your car while it was still in your name, which happened to me as well, and I have something that was, a dog was found in the car, which I should find those papers, because that wasn't my dog. Somebody had my car. Yeah, I'm just saying this right now. I'm just saying stuff like, I'm scared that's going to show up. The thing is, right now, it's more than 10 minutes. The thing is, right now, in my mind, when I read an application and it asks me specific questions, I tell them exactly what the answer is, honestly. And I have a family member that's telling me, don't answer these questions honestly, or don't talk about this, or don't. And I'm just like, the last thing they say before you sign it is, just because if something comes up that's scaring you, don't be afraid to tell the truth, because if we find out you're lying, we're automatically going to deny your application. You know what I'm saying? It's a worse offense to not be truthful than it is to just be straight up truthful. And so anyways, I think that next week is the jurisprudence deadline, and because I didn't listen to the professional at my school that helps people graduate and get into their own business, because this is not just like, oh, I graduated, got a certificate in a program, and now I'm going to go apply for a job and wait for interviews. This is like, you gotta do this step by step by yourself. Unless you hire someone to help you, you gotta do the test by yourself. You gotta do the legal stuff by yourself. You gotta sign up your business name by yourself. You gotta pay for all your licenses and your DEA and all your numbers and all this stuff. And you gotta be legitimate. And you gotta set up your clinic the right way, and you gotta do your charting the right way, and it's like all that stuff. I don't remember. They teach you how to do it, but they didn't really teach you. They didn't really give you like a class where they say, oh, this is how you do it, and bring this notes to work with you the first day so that you do the right way. It's that stuff you gotta research, because it changes all the time too. So that's where I am right now. Is if it's the 26th right now, I think the application needs to be postmarked on the 3rd, including the background paperwork. And I'm just like, dude, this kind of sucks. You know what I mean? And then I had to wait another 3 months, which is February, and I'm really angry because if I had done the jurisprudence, like I said, maybe it was in God's will for me to not. What if I did jurisprudence and passed all that and didn't pass the other test? Then I am going to be really not doing it until February. But what if I just got the money for all the licensing, paid for my classes, did this other stuff, and then went and got my license in February, and I think the results come back like in March, or I think they come back like in April, March or April, and then you send in the stuff and get the license. I might do that. A doctor the other day said, oh, after I graduated, I took the jurisprudence, or I didn't get my license till after February because you're going to be getting your thing like $350 or $450, and then it's almost December already. She's like, I just wait till the beginning of the year, and then you don't have to pay these extra. I think they prorate it a little bit, but the first license is going to be more money anyway, so it's like, and some people just didn't even take their boards later, some people take a break, and some people didn't pass this stuff, so it's like, I should be grateful. I'm just chipping away at it, and it almost feels like there's something wrong with me. I wanted to hit the ground running, and I had relatives that were very mean and very discouraging, very untrusting that I could be a doctor, like actually survive the program, and some people didn't even know that I was even a doctor, and that, or like it's a real doctor, like, oh, you're just some kind of, I don't know, metaphysical something, or some kind of, I'm just going to grab someone some chamomile and get paid, oh, here's some chamomile, like, no, it's really intense. And I got a box over here, it's got 3 business books in it, I got 2 business books from the library, I had like 6, but I took the most of them back. I think I need to straight up just get up, get the stack of the jurisprudence papers, fill them out, don't sign and date it yet, get everything on the to-do list turned in, that's not timed, and then when I get the money and everything together, boom, get it postmarked, drive it to the post office, get it postmarked, and just chip away at it, and then save up for the fees, because I don't have them right now, and then get these, when that gets done, or while I'm doing it, because it's like you're in school and you're like this, and you're busy, and you just want to graduate and open up a practice, but you can't. And then most people take their jurisprudence at the same time. It's like, boom, right now, beginning of October, they're going to get their license in the mail, and they're going to go practice. There's something about getting malpractice, like insurance. So I'm going to get all this stuff. I'm going to get all this cost. And if it does take me 6 more months, that sounds like a long time. I'm going to do this business stuff. I'm going to probably take a business class at the community college. I just threw that in there. But I'm thinking of doing it. And then, or maybe they have one at the medical school downtown for master doctors going out in private practice. And then I'm going to pray about everything, and I'm gonna maybe just say, hey, I'm going to take this time to organize my house, sell what I can sell, get my kids situated in their schools, and finish. I'm still doing schools and birth, and I'm going to take a doula training as long as somebody doesn't go into labor that day, and that pays quite a bit of bucks. And that potentially right there could help me to pay for the classes and pay my debt and pay for the licensing fees and the test. So I am not as fast as everybody else. However, I'm doing really well. And like last year when my kids were kind of slow and doing all like the transition because they're adolescents and teenager, weird stuff was going on. We started kind of not so. Like we started kind of like everyone was like, you guys are bad, you don't know how to behave, you don't know how to raise your kids, you screwed up your kid's life. It's like, why don't you talk to their dad? Maybe he sent child support. They could have more food and not be so cranky, and maybe they could have clothes that actually fit, and maybe they could have a lunch sack that's not covered in grease, or maybe actually have a lunch inside the lunch sack. Like, you're talking to me about this, why don't you talk to their dad, who's not encouraging, he's not supportive, and he's not giving me any money, and he's not even sending them Christmas, he's not calling them, nothing. He's not visiting them. He's not being a father. It's like, shut up. It's like, why don't you go after him? Why don't you spend your energy yelling at him and not me? Because I'm busting my butt bending over backwards doing all I can. And it's like, so it's like, why don't you give me a coupon to go to the store and get some turkey and some salads for my kids? the milk and eggs. Like, why don't you just get help where it's actually needed and not try to condemn somebody because they got divorced and because they went back to school and because they want to be professional, because they've been working so they can keep the roof over their head. It's like, I don't understand this system. And it's like making your mom feel bad. It's like, oh, well, then they're never going to want to go to school and go to work and raise kids for themselves. They're going to end up wanting to sit around playing video games, typically, because it thanks a lot. Look what you did to my family. These people screw you up. It takes years to undo some of the stupid stuff. And, so I'm just gonna keep on chugging away at getting the specialty. It's almost like feeling like you're a resident in allopathic school, and then you go on for a fellowship, and then you take a couple of classes, and then it's like you get paid, but you're not getting paid all of the money. And then it's like, then like 3, 4, 10 years later, after you finish school, then you finally get the big person paycheck. You know, you have everything all signed. That's how I feel a little bit right now. It's like, I feel like God's going to help me to be successful. And imagine this. Imagine I am practicing medicine as a doctor. Everything that I had in my business plan has been dumped after the boards, and then survival. I'm in survival mode. How am I going to buy food? Oh, I'm using a credit card to buy food, and the credit card's racked up, and my paycheck is only this much, and then I need this much for monthly bills. That's what's going through my mind right now. It's freaking out. It's like, wait, if I was a naturopath and had my license, I'd be making this much. But your foundation of your business has got to be strong. And I'm not necessarily just, there's some opportunities to do some work in some other people's clinics, and it's because I took to jurisprudence. I'm not taking jurisprudence yet. There may be a situation where they may find someone else to work in their clinic. So I'm just gonna. I wanted to hit the ground running after graduation. But I think in my situation, because I like to do things slow, I like a lot of repetition. I like a lot of extra learning. I like to read the fine print and get everything, all the ducks in a row. That's what I feel like I should do. Just get some lists out and just, like I said, just get the family situated. Because once you open your practice, you're going to be, I plan on being really busy. I plan on working on multiple clinics. I'm going to be going here and there and here and there. And I just feel like there wasn't a proper instruction. Like, there was proper instruction first, second year, and then in third year, but then fourth year was a nightmare with our business classes, and the suggestions that they told us to do was several years of business planning, and the group that I was in fell apart. And so several people last year came to a business class or some class, and they're like, we are starting our business group after graduation because we didn't do it like the teacher said, and now we are a mess. And I think at least one of these people were residents for like 1 or 2 years. I think 1 year resident. And then they end up moving back east, but they're just like, they couldn't do it on their own until they got, and the reason you do a group is because then you split you're supposed to spend 4 years doing this business background, busy work, and you divide it into 3 people, and then you combine all the stuff into a big 6 binders, and then once you get your license, you just go through the steps, and you've got everything under control. So I think right now I think the first thing would be cool would be to get the license, but I think it may be another 4 or 5 months to get it, which seems so cruel, but it's because I didn't listen to the professionals, and God's will for me is what it is. I think I should go through all of the notes from this instructor, even if I have to. My printer costs $200 to put ink in. You don't have to get a job delivering newspapers or something. I'm gonna pray off the stuff and get it in the binder and just get it. I don't care. Get it and highlight it, and just. I think that should be my number one thing, because the business group fell apart and it became survival. It became, we gotta pass. We gotta study for GPA. We gotta study for boards. And I had to take that first boards again. And took them late. Like I said, I passed them both within 6 months. Exactly 6 months of each other. So, I don't know. prior to this video, I knew after graduation, I don't even know, it's before after the boards, I had my business stuff out of the closet, and my daughter was using it as a desk. I knew in my mind that that stuff is important. I got these books from the library, but I was working a job. It's like, you don't have to think about starting your own business when you're working a job, but it's like everything, taxes, and all the legitimate licenses, and insurance, all that stuff has got to be in place. So, yeah, that's where I am right now, and it's kind of scaring me because, I mean, how many of you want to graduate and just start working your profession? Who wants to wait another 6 months to potentially a year? And then who, like me, is also taking class for another 6 months to potentially a year, depending on how many, like, I think it's going to be less than a year, but, I think, I'm pretty sure it's going to work out. And like I said, the whole thing with having kids, and other people don't have kids, or they just had little babies, that's a little bit different. That's like, somebody needs to care for the baby, and you go into class for a couple hours, and the baby's sleeping, and you have breast milk pumped. It's kind of like, it's not as intense, because you're probably going to be mostly home the rest of the time, or a lot of times a partner, little baby, a lot of times people still with their partner. So like with older kids, you got activities and field trips, and if you're homeschooling, you got to come up with curriculum and all this stuff, so it's like a different ball game, you know, and it's helping someone through adolescence and trying to be like, okay, what are you going to do when you work? It's like job, it's like I got to train people on job skills and stuff that when you're doing home and web school, you don't get that kind of counseling. You don't have assemblies, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to tell you that I need to stop this video and go figure out about our exercise group that's supposed to start soon, and I gotta sew some sequins into my pants, because like sometimes I have pants that are super long, and it's embarrassing because I don't wear them, and it's a waste of money, and it's like, you can't, if you're big, you can't buy petite clothes, even if you're short, because it's like the waist is like here, when like normal pants are like this, from your like back down to your crotch, you can't have like these half as big. It's like, it's not even covering your butt. It's like, what's the point? It's like, you know, you get a bigger size, you just like get wider, but it's like this, it's like wearing a belt with a short pant leg on. It's like, this is kind of ridiculous. I did it on accident once with some work pants. I was like, oh, they come in different sizes like men's, and I didn't realize it was actually petite. It's like, it all shortened the leg and keep everything awesome. But I will keep you posted. I don't know if this video is going to work, so it's much more than 5 minutes, but less than 46 minutes like my other one. Yeah, accountability people, it's going to be working on this paperwork, and reading these business books, and I'm pretty sure I need to get one for medicine, and I have one that's natural based, and I should at least look on. I might go get some tea or get myself a snack and at least look through that one, because it's definitely necessary. And I think there's food that needs to be cooked now that I think about it. I'm like, freaking out. I'm gonna put it all in the oven. All right.